Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today I'm out visiting a couple. Actually they are kind of retired, but they have moved to Portugal and they're living here in the beautiful sun in a tiny little city, which I'm not gonna say where it is, but they're living off-grid, and I thought that was very interesting. And they have multiple power solutions and internet solutions, and well, now they have mains water. That's a bit cheap then, but yeah, I want you to meet Elaine and Darren. Darren. Oh, I messed that up already. And Max is probably gonna show up at some point, but he's shy.
He's gone for the shade.
Yeah. So yeah, you have multiple power solutions out here. And if I just take a step back, we can start seeing there's a tiny solar panel on the roof, there's 2 solar panels over here, and there's a larger one. How does all of this work?
It all feeds into the same system, really. We just have so we have 100. That's the biggest one on this on the roof there. That's 170 watt. It looks small because it's on the roof. We have 170 watt there. These 2 are 100 watts each. Yeah. And this is 120 watt. Okay. We also have sort of a standby, just in case we have a couple of standbys. The blue Yeti is right there. Yeah. And behind us over here is an all powers power station. And we were just looking at this just before, and apparently this tiny little unit can supply 700 watts. It says it right there. 700 watt. We were surprised about that, so yeah, that's a nice unit. It's not a bad unit, and it charges up quite quickly in this sun. So we've just, this is more of our little backup system, this one. Got a nice solar panel for it there. Yeah, that's an all power solar panel as well. So I recognize the green colors here. Okay, okay. All powers. Friends of YouTubers here in Portugal. They are at the minute. It keeps flapping over. That's okay. It's fine. Yeah, it won't make a lot of difference. Just to keep that from melting into the sun. I do that too. I hide them under the panels. Yeah. So this all feeds in. This is their little house. They started out in Portugal by buying a piece of land and was driving around in an auto camper, which you have retired. I've been seeing. Why did you retire the auto camper?
Well, it had sat. We brought it to Portugal and it sat on our land for quite a while. So then it just wasn't really needed. It wasn't. No, we had plans for it, but then we decided that it had a little bit of value left in it, even though it sat for 4 years. So we figured what we'll do is we'll take the value that's in that camper and turn it into a little wooden house instead of a metal house, basically. Yeah, so that's down on a bit more space. Yes, down on our land at the moment, the little wooden house that we're building at the moment. Yeah. So this house is off-grid. Yeah. Even though the grid is like right next to it. That's right. And your choice for doing that is just... We just didn't want a bill, really, another bill. I think we've... And I've been watching you. You've managed all winter without power here. Yeah. You don't... Do you or do you not have a generator? I forget. We have a generator on the land, which we have used. Only, well, we've used the generator for doing a bit of hoovering, because they take a lot of power. And we used the generator for our water pump when we were getting water from the well up to that's just in the land. But in the house, no, we don't use the generator here. Seems a bit, I think it's faulty as well at the moment. We can't seem to get it to start. I'm kind of introducing their water system here because they haven't shown it to their own viewers yet. They say that their patrons has gotten the first view of the water system coming in. But yeah, so now they are on mains water. We are, yes. Behind the scenes. yeah, mate, this is definitely exciting. Yeah, it changes things quite considerably. Yeah, I'm amazed. It gets really warm here, and I kind of like a cold shower when it's midday. And absolutely, yes. I have to talk about it.
The main reason we have access to water. We have access to really nice, clean drinking water just from a lady across the way.
Yeah, I've seen you go and fill up jars.
Lovely water. That's right. We fill up these, and that's been our system for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Hasn't it? Just collecting water there. But now we have, because of the heat, we're worried about the trees on the land, and they're in this heat all day long.
Yeah.
So we thought, rather than just, we can have as much water as we want, but we just thought it was a bit unfair to be taking water from there up to the land feeding the trees.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work moving water.
Yeah. So this, we will get a little hose on it. We've only had it a few days. We get a little hose on it. We'll fill up these containers, drive these containers up to our land, which is about 1 minute drive, literally.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll give the trees some water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was literally so we could keep them alive during the intense heat of the summer. So it hasn't even started yet, and we're still in like 30 to 35 degrees, and it's only the beginning of May. Yeah. We invested a lot of time and energy into the trees.
Yes.
And if we can keep those alive and get them bigger, then they'll produce shade, then the soil underneath will get better, and the whole cycle of the land improvement will then begin.
I kind of know what you mean, because I want some trees on near my house, but as I'm not here month at a time, I don't have anyone to water them, and they would be dead next time. And trees might be cheap here, but they're not that cheap.
They've only got the 2 solar panels at the moment. I can't remember how they're all going, but anyway.
Do they go in series or in parallel? Or just
in I don't know. I think, is it series? I can't remember. They all go into one source. So okay. Solar. That's 1 solar panel going to. Sorry, that's 2 solar panels, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 minuses.
Yeah, 2 minuses,
and then
2 pluses. Yeah,
and
that's
they go
it.
In there.
And they just go into these.
Is that the black ones out here?
Yeah.
That's
it,
those.
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other one.
And then that one is separate, and that one comes
right.
in on the other.
Okay.
That's it, yeah. And I can show you how they come into the house to make a bit more sense. That's right.
Yeah, that's a very convenient hole right there.
Yeah. The panel
on the roof.
That's
that is some good thick wires.
Yeah, that's okay. We bought that here in Portugal. We found a shop in Castelo Branco, which was handy for that.
Yeah.
This one goes into our EcoFlow.
Yeah.
And this one is our Bluetti wires, basically. Yeah. I'll show you them and make a bit more sense inside.
Cool. Yeah. There is Max rolling in the doorway.
Yeah.
Being shy. So this is a very tiny house.
It is.
But there is a lot of power for a tiny house here.
Yeah.
So that's the EcoFlow. I did see you do a video on that.
Yeah.
And the EcoFlow, you can directly make coffee. No, you can't.
No, that's it. So
this is kind of. Is that the camper setup that you have moved in here?
Pretty much. It's all new stuff, but it's what we would have used in a camper. Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the internet.
That's the internet.
Is that working well there?
It's working really well, actually. Yes.
I need to go and get a SIM card. I have my own little internet project at my house, so I need to figure out which the best SIM card is to get for a G4 network.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Really, we had a Starlink for. I think about 4 or 5 months. We used the Starlink system, which is really, really good. It connects up to Elon Musk Starlink system. Yeah, really, really good. Other than the fact it's quite expensive compared to this system, and the power consumption on the Starlink is quite high. It was about 45 watts of power it was taking constantly, and sometimes it would go up to 80 or 90 watts as well. And using the only power solutions that we have is like the EcoFlow and the Bluettis. With those power solutions, they can get drained quite quickly. So the real reason for going for this little box was really more from a power perspective than from the internet necessarily. This is fast enough for us.
Okay.
It works fine.
How much slower is it than the Starlink then?
quite a lot slower, but it does depend on where your mast is. We're quite lucky, we have a mast about a mile away.
Okay.
A NOS mast, just there. When we sit on the bottom of our land, we can upload a video like in 5 minutes. We're literally just there.
Ah.
In the house, we've got thick walls in the house, so it's a little bit slower. You know, it has to find its way through. You know, that's the downside with this one. But and it is a little obviously slower than
But it's cheaper. It's like 30
It's
euros
half the price
every month.
Yeah, it's half the price as well.
And the
which is
Starlink was 65.
65, I think. Yeah. So it's cheaper. It's a good option, and we can stream. We can actually watch movies, which I'll show you how we do.
I'm also using a 4G modem, and I'm also able to watch YouTube videos and yours.
Exactly. Yeah, they're good. So yeah, as we've just seen outside, there was the solar panels. We have them coming in connected to the EcoFlow. We also have another set of solar panels which we can connect up our Blue Yetis to. At the moment, they don't need charging, so we're just leaving that there. And this is the 170 watt solar panel that we saw on the roof. Goes into this system. This system here has a battery underneath the fridge. So the solar panel comes in, goes into the charge controller. The charge controller, sorry, I said that wrong. The solar panel comes in, the power goes into the charge controller sends it down to the battery, and the battery powers this fridge through the fuse box here. And the battery also powers our lighting, which is just a 12 volt
LED.
12 volt LED. Uses no power at all. It also powers our internet. It charges our lighting. This is our only lighting system apart from that one, which is just again 12 volt or USB should I say, chargeable lights, and we just charge them directly from here as well. The idea is to put another one of those LEDs in the other room, but they're very white light, and I wasn't really keen on the very white light, so
Very cool.
very cold light. Yeah, so it's okay in the kitchen, does a good job, but yeah. And then these are all spare at the moment. I'll get around to that sometime. So this one here, this is how we power our television and our laptops.
So you have a tiny little TV in here. Oh, and 2 more power banks.
Yeah, these are the ones.
The original ones.
They are the originals. So this is what powers my laptop, and this is what powers the television. And then obviously, yeah, they can be used for anything, but this is our main source for the television, main source for the laptop. But I can mix and match however I feel like.
Whoever has power.
Exactly, whatever's got power. They're both quite full, I think, at the moment. Yeah, so they're okay, 100%. That's probably about 80% on this one, I think. Yeah, so it just powers the television. The television, we purchased this purely because it was very low wattage as well. It's not a smart TV or anything like that, I don't think, at least. It's an 18 watt television, maximum power, that's all it takes.
Okay, I just purchased an LG television, 28 inches smart TV.
Nice.
That took in 19 volts.
19?
Yeah.
Wow, that's very good. Yeah.
So it could be kind of used instead of a laptop.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So that's our entertainment system, basically. Yeah.
And the surround sound is not needed because this room is so small.
That's right. It is a very small room.
So and this is the editing laptop.
That's
I'm
right.
guessing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And you're editing on a Lenovo.
Lenovo. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a good thing.
That's a good choice.
Good. That's good news. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It can be sometimes a little bit slow. It's a 5.
Not Lenovo. No.
No, it can't be that. It's just because it's I don't know what they call it for editing videos.
Power hungry? No.
Power hungry? Well, it is when you're editing videos.
Oh, sure. You're ruining my reputation.
Oh, so how's that happened then? But yeah.
So this is where the magic happens, and
this is the editing.
Spend hours and hours and hours looking through dull footage of people saying wrong things at the wrong time, picking their nose and whatever.
Yeah.
No, not usually.
Not usually, no, that doesn't usually happen.
How do you film your films? Do you have an idea in your head when you're doing it?
We have started to do that, yes. Recently we've started to do that. We always had an idea, okay, so today we're going to go and do something on the land, so we're going to, I don't know, put a fence up or something. So we've always had an idea, and then we go onto the land and we maybe think a little bit about how we're going to put that together as a video as we do it. Now we're starting to do a little bit more, not storyboarding as such, but a little bit more of an idea, a little bit more structured.
It helps a lot when you're editing.
Yeah, well exactly, that's the thing, isn't it? Because you can just then go through a lot of editing stuff to cut out, yeah. So yeah, my main camera is the Canon G7X Mark III. The reason I chose the Mark III was so that we could have the external microphone on it, and it makes quite a bit of difference. So that would be my main, or our main use camera. Does a really good job in all sorts of lighting, really, which is what I like about it. You can go down quite dark. But recently I've been looking at footage coming out of one of these little cameras. I picked up this second hand. We've had one before. The stability is excellent on them. So I really bought it for like hanging out of a car window really and getting like stable shots like that. But looking at the footage on it, really good quality. It's an Osmo Action, DJI Osmo Action 1. It's the first version of it. But the quality is excellent, waterproof, same as a GoPro, all of that sorts of things. With these, like the sound quality isn't particularly brilliant, but you can buy a little adapter to pop into there, and then you can add on a little microphone to it. And I'm going to give that a try as a little vlogging camera, just to see how it works. Maybe call it a backup camera. It's more of a stills camera, but I've just picked up this recently when I went into the UK. We went back to the UK recently, and this is a Canon M50, but mirrorless digital camera, but it has the flip out screen as well, so we can do the filming with this as well, which is really nice.
Does it flip all the way around so you can watch yourself? Okay,
yeah,
that's very important.
Yeah, so it's I'll take that off. That's the other thing you have to remember with the DSLR. So I can pop it on to there we go. Does that work?
So there is me filming me.
There's me, yeah, there you are. Yeah. So it's a really nice little camera actually. It's like a little bit smaller than most DSLRs, which is what I liked about it. And it's a very good option for vlogging as well, by all accounts. So again, a really nice vlogging setup. But weirdly, what you do need if you're vlogging is you need to pull that out and then be able to see yourself.
You need to.
But your microphone is yeah, so you have to pull your microphone out like that.
Flip the camera.
Flip the camera over. Minded this little tag here.
Yeah, and put that in front of the screen.
Yeah, it's just not an ideal situation for vlogging, unfortunately.
Okay.
A little bit strange, actually. I wonder why Canon have decided to do that. Well, but it would have been perfect there.
I can tell you that Panasonic hasn't done it much better.
Oh, really? And I'm now recording you again. And that's
I'm recording you, recording me.
Yeah.
Can you show me that handheld thing again that pops out
this little
at the bottom?
thing down here?
Yeah. So no, just pop out the end of it.
Oh yeah, this piece here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty smart.
Yeah. So they just come to it. Just sits like on its own little tripod. Yeah. Just like that. It's a nice little thing.
Brilliant.
And it was a very cheap option. Good for handheld, and the stability in this is, as I said before, is brilliant. Or a little tripod to pop it down. Nothing to worry about. Simple as that. But for our Pips casts, this one really is the best I can have. I think it is. The autofocus is really good when we get it set up right, which I've been fiddling around with the autofocus quite a lot recently to try and get it better. There's quite a lot of settings inside the camera. But this one, because we do the Pips cast in this room and we haven't got a lot of lighting in here, can look a little bit dark. But this one, as I said, yeah, opens up wide, so you can get a lot of light coming in. So for indoor shooting, I would probably stick with this one, G7X. Yeah, quality's good, sound is good with the external Rode.
what is it, a Rode video mic Go? Yeah.
It's about 87 euros. So I've been chatting with Elaine and Darren here, and they tell me that they are pensioners here in Portugal, and they're not even very old. They're like 10 years older than me.
Younger.
Oh, did I mess that one up?
No, certainly.
But yeah, and Elaine here has had a coffee shop in the UK, and Darren,
Darren. Hello.
Darren has been in banking.
So I was in banking for about 12 plus years. Yeah, I suppose that was my biggest career, if you want to call it a career. Yeah, but I think what it did for us, well, what I'll do is I'll say to Elaine, Elaine's had her own business for about the same amount of time, for 15 years, running a coffee shop.
And before that I worked in customer service for British Telecom.
Changing the scenery, we need both of them in view. It gets weird.
Banking and self-employed, weren't you? But what it enabled, the reason we're able to retire, that's still a difficult word to
fit into our vocabulary.
But we have technically retired, is that we just paid off our mortgage early. It was as simple as that, really. We thought to ourselves, why pay the mortgage company another 5 years or another 6 years? Why not just sell the house now and take the money out of that, really?
Yeah.
All that money then just paid off some debts. That's all it did.
Yeah, paid off the mortgage, paid off our debts, and bought us a small cottage back in the UK where a couple of our children still live, and no mortgage left to pay. Yeah. So we have very little outgoing now, and just makes it easier to live on a small amount every month.
So you're living off the kids.
So the majority of our money comes from a small pension that I have, a small private pension, and then they pay a bit of rent and they pay all the bills on the house back in the UK, and
the idea was it works perfectly because it's got they've got somewhere to live. They can give us very cheaply. I mean, the thought was we could sell the house and we could take the money. But really, we would just spend the money, because if you've got the money, you're going to go and spend it.
Fine.
No.
Yeah, so we kind of thought, well, what we'll do is, they want to rent it. It gives them somewhere to live, which is lovely, and that just works perfectly, didn't it?
Yeah, so we haven't completely abandoned them because they still live at home.
So we're just going to be going up to Darren and Elaine's land, which started their journey here to Portugal. And actually, I had a look at the house on the corner up here when I was house searching, and that was kind of fun because I had been seeing this house and then I saw the video and thought, wait, I just been there. But this is where the land is, and it has a view. It has a very nice view. And you're building something.
We are. We're starting to build a support building, but it's going to be like a multi-purpose. It's not just going to be a shed for storage, so we'll use it during the day when it's hot or wet, get some respite from the sun and the weather, and perhaps the odd night and visitors. So it'll be well used, but it's nice. It's our little hillside.
How many square meters is this ish?
Square meters? I'm not sure. I don't know square meters.
Just about 2 acres.
2 acres.
2 acres. 8,000 square meters.
Maybe. How does this watering system work?
Okay.
I see all the trees has been. Well,
they've all been
drunk.
Given their own. So we're recycling the plastic bottles. The things that they're tied on with are even recycled, the old curtains from our old camper that I've just cut up and used, and each tree has its dedicated bottle. It has a couple of tiny holes pricked into the bottom, and then maybe twice a week we fill it with water and it slowly seeps.
Okay, because my mom was trying to do something similar at my house, but It failed miserably, so I thought this might be interesting.
Yeah, they're working. So.
And there's still a little water in them. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is their building project, and Daryl loves to build on his building. No, he doesn't, but he's doing it. So.
Yeah. So at the moment we're just waiting for the roof to be delivered. We've ordered roofing panels, and that's our next job. So the next job is to put the roof on. We've got wood for the rafters, and
what kind of roofing are you putting on? Insulated panels?
yep, like the insulated sandwich.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you went for the good stuff.
Hopefully, yeah. So it's got the white on the inside that you see on the inside, then the foam, and then the metal
Red, black,
red
okay.
on the top.
Yeah, black is probably too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I need to get some of that in Denmark, but it's not that popular there. So I've seen those sandwich panels down here, and I'm really envious that
Yeah.
you can get them widely available here.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and in lots of different
Thicknesses
as well.
and colors and designs, yeah.
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 So you can even have it look like tile if you
Yeah,
want it to look like tile.
The cheating ones.
Yeah.
Yes, we were going to buy a shed for about 2,300. A shed which is basically thin panels. But this we think is going to come in at around €3,000, and the quality would just be so much higher.
So when you watch Daryl and Elaine's videos, they have all sorts of projects, and one of them has been this pond. Portugal got a lot of rain this winter, so they built a pond to keep some of the water. And yeah, you had all sorts of trouble with that pond, leaking and trying to...
Within weeks of it being dug, we just had like 6 weeks worth of rain, and it just filled so quickly that it breached, which we've fixed over in that far corner where you see the dip.
Yeah.
But then we haven't had any rain since, basically, so I can't say that it's been a
So you don't know if it
100%
works yet.
success
No.
because we've
And
not had any
the
rain.
water is supposed to come down this way
Yep.
and run into this. It's like running a motorbike, motocross or something. The water needs to follow that line down here and end up in the pond. I had a pond too when it was raining this much,
Yeah.
and it's dry as it's also dried up.
Yeah.
Where do you get water? I see you have these IBC tanks all
Yep.
over the place.
Yeah, we're on the last of our water now. This was from the winter when we had a lot of rain. Our well filled up for the first time in like 4 or 5 years, and we had the pond dug. So we've been pumping water out of the pond. We pumped the majority of the water out of the well and stored it in the IBCs. But even that's not enough, because we've had about 5 days of rain this year, which just isn't enough at all. So
I totally missed the well. I've seen it on video,
just
but
here.
oh, we walked right by it.
Yep. Yeah, so as you can see, it's dry now. Yeah.
I can't see a thing.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's completely dry now.
Maybe a couple of feet.
Elaine, you missed this bottle. You need to clean that up. This is a mess.
Oh no! Yeah.
So, thank you very much for showing me around here at your tiny little pension house in Portugal.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And your channel is called again?
Pip's Living Off Grid.
So pensioners in Portugal living off grid.
Yeah.
I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check out how you can also retire at the age of 57.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.